Hello everyone. Today I'm going to explain you classes and objects concept in Python. So I'm Divya Raj, Assistant Professor, Department of CSE, SVC. So let's learn about classes and objects. Okay. So whatever I'm teaching today, it is module 4 and module 4 it contains it is divided into four parts: classes and objects, classes and functions, classes and methods, and inheritance. Okay, so let's start with classes and before going for this, let's start with Python features. Okay, see, Python is, as you all know, Python is dynamic, high level, and it is free open source, and also it is an interpreted programming language. So it is easy to code, and already I have said it is free and open source, and it is object oriented language. So this is one of the important feature of Python. So in today's class, so we'll be learning all about how Python is object oriented language, why it is called as object oriented language. So we'll be learning everything today, and it also supports GUI, and later on in later classes we'll see what it is. Okay, so yeah, it is a high level language. So let's start with OOPS concept. Okay, so in short we call it as OOPS concepts. Object OOPS is object oriented programming. Okay, see here in object oriented programming there are three important terms we repeatedly use. That is, one is class, one is object, and one more is reference variable. So in today's class, let's see what is class, what is object, and what is reference variable. So very important. So let's see what is class. So see here, let's start with a Vinayaka idol. Okay, so there's a reason why I am displaying this. Okay, so guys, see here. Um, I'm displaying you a idol here, but how this idol came into existence? So see, you will have a mold and you will have a clay. Okay, so if you put clay into this mold, so the outcome is a Vinayaka idol. Correct, right? Yes. So now I have a question here. So my question is, so consider, for example, I need to have some I need to make some hundreds of Ganesha idols for Ganesha Chaturthi. Okay, then you will, to make 100 idols, it is not mandatory to have a 100 molds like this. Correct, right? If you have one single mold, you can prepare 100 idols. Okay, 100 Ganesha idols. So, by this, we understood that one mold is enough to prepare 100 Ganesha idols. Now, if I compare this concept with objects and classes concept, okay, so now class is the mold. So whatever you are seeing on the screen, this mold is the class and objects. So what are the outcomes of this mold? The outcomes are Ganesha idols. Yes. So now those Ganesha idols are the objects. Okay. So now I repeat, this mold is a class and those Ganesha idols are the objects. Okay, so in the same way, let's go for one more example. Okay, so here mold is a class and Ganesha idols are objects. Let's go for the next example now. So, yeah, the next example on the screen. So the next example, it's a blueprint of I mean, if you want to construct a house, so it's a blueprint of it. Okay, so now, so where the hall should be, where the kitchen should be, everything, it is just a blueprint, a map. Okay, so blueprint of your construction. Okay, So now, using this blueprint, you can build houses like this. Yes. So with one single blueprint, you can construct n number of houses. Yes. So now I compare this example with classes and objects. Now classes are class is the blueprint and object is these houses. Okay, objects are, I have to say, you will have only one class and you have n number of houses, the outcome of that blueprint. Okay, so in the same way, let's take one more example. Yeah? Okay, plan is a class and villas constructed using plan are objects. So let's take one more example here. So one more example is there's a tawa on the screen. Okay, so this is a padu maker. Okay, using this padu you can have n number of recipes. Okay, now when I compare this with class and object concept, this single tawa I call it as a class, and outcome of it you can prepare n number of recipes out of it. So all those are the objects. Okay, so here pan is a class and recipes prepared using pan or objects. Okay, so now let's talk about technically. Okay, so let's talk about classes and objects technically. So now class is a blueprint, or it can be a template, or it can be a plan, or it can be a model, or it can be a design. So a class is a blueprint, template, plan, model, design. You can call it as a class. And what is object? Object is a physical existence of a class or a outcome of a class, or in technically we call it as an instance of a class. Note down this point because very important. OOPS concept. The basic fundamentals of Python object-oriented programming is understanding the real definition of what is class and what is object. A class is a blueprint and an object is the physical existence of a class, or you can also call it as an instance of a class. Okay, so I think with these three better examples, you have understood what is class and what is object. Okay, so that's all about this video, and in the next class, we'll see what are reference variables. Okay, so please watch the next video and also subscribe to the channel for more videos. Thank you.